we had no idea what we were doing. And that's not the most propitious starting point. None of us had worked in large corporations. And yet we were having the temerity to propose ways that large corporations could improve how they work. Trampoline systems are one of the pioneers of a new field of technology called social analytics. But in practice, what that means is we develop very sophisticated software that analyzes how people are communicating with each other. It turns out that this is like gold dust to certain people in business. And right now, we're very particularly focused on how sales operations are organized. So a big corporation might have 1,000 or even 10,000 people out trying to sell their products, and they'll be talking to an enormous number of customers. And Trampoline's sonar technology can analyze all of those relationships and then help the business to make them more effective. When I was studying social and political sciences, my main research interest was how small communities use social networks to distribute information and collaborate. So I went to St Agnes in the Isles of Scilly, which is really quite small. There's a population of about 80 people there, and gradually started to understand how networks were functioning and how people were using them. And it began to dawn on me that there might be ways to replicate some of those patterns and processes in an electronic system. The first thing I did was actually start speaking to my friend Craig Macmillan, because he was by far and away the brightest computer person that I knew. And he didn't think that my idea was insane, so that was a good start. And at this point, it wasn't really with a view to building a business out of it. It was much more a sense of intellectual curiosity. One spring morning, there was a knock on my door, and the president of the San Francisco Stock Exchange was standing there. And within about half an hour, we were sitting down and talking about my ideas for social network analysis, and he was already starting to think, this sounds like it might actually be a business opportunity. And that's really the point at which it started off down that avenue. Within a few weeks of forming the business, I had a meeting that was actually about something different with somebody, and in passing I told them about what we were doing with Trampoline, and their eyes lit up and they said, I've got a meeting with somebody from the British government tomorrow. Why don't you go to that meeting instead of me? Because I think they're looking for exactly what you're doing. And so this is what happened. I attended that meeting the next day. And within a month or two, we had signed a contract with the UK government to provide a very early version of Trampoline's technology. After we'd built the technology, the next stage was going to be to commercialize it and build up revenue. The financial crisis somewhat derailed that. We raised £6 million in 2007 from an American hedge fund, but they suffered pretty badly during 2008, to the point that at the end of the year they pulled out of all early stage technology investment. It was about the worst time in history to try and find a new investor. So we decided that we were going to do something that no technology startup had ever done before. There was this technique that people call crowdfunding, which is basically about raising smaller amounts of money from a large group of private individuals. It had only been used really for music and for the film projects. So I had to spend upwards of a month with lawyers working out how we could do this, because here in Britain, the Financial Services Authority has very strict regulations about investment opportunities to the public. We finally worked out an acceptable way to do this, and launched this in the summer of 2009. And that was one of the biggest gambles that we've ever taken as a company. And thankfully, it paid off. We put a lot of our eggs in that basket. So if it hadn't worked, I'm not sure if Trampoline would still be here today. But it did work. So like as an entrepreneur, you never really think about the things that might have gone wrong, but didn't go wrong. You think about things that might have gone wrong and did go wrong, because those are the things that you've got to not do again.